Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Motivation Monday, July 17th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a model and actor, and today's look is an homage to the Barbie movie, which will be coming out July 21st. So make sure you guys go and check that out. I'm super excited about today's show. It feels good to be back. Still going in with this reflux, but I'm getting better day by day, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys like the hair color. Look at that. Look at that. I feel like a popsicle. So, let's get into it with our very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Shauron Lee. Hi, my love. Welcome. Welcome.
Can you see me?
And welcome to the dollhouse. How
I'm
are you?
fine. You look very good.
Thank you. Special thanks to Melanie Nalla, my Bridges, for making sure that we are right. I feel like a popsicle today, the colorful hair. We'll move that out the way.
You're fine. You're okay.
So, how are you doing? How has 2023 been for you so far?
It's been very interesting. And currently transitioning, moving houses. Live up in Virginia. I'm currently here in North Carolina at my other house, doing some work. I got some classes I need to do tonight. That's why I'm down here. But this hasn't been bad. No issues so far. Knock on wood.
Yes. And you said North Carolina. I'm in South Carolina, so we're not far, and I have a brother
Oh,
there.
what part of North Carolina?
Charlotte.
Oh,
He's in Charlotte. Yeah.
yeah. That's
Mhm.
my ultimate goal to move out to Charlotte. I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay. Okay. So how is it out there? Is it hot enough? I know it's got to be at least 100 outside right now.
Yeah, with the heat index, it is kind of hot. It's probably like 92, 93 today.
Yes, for sure. So let's get into it. You model, you act, you do it all. Tell us way back when. Where at what age did you discover this would be your passion?
Wow. So do I have to get the year?
No, not necessarily.
So when I was in high school, I'm from New Jersey. And when I was in high school, I was interested in doing it my junior year. Not my junior year, but like my sophomore and freshman year of high school. Went to a couple of auditions for modeling and acting. Uh, Everything was up in New York. I I live about 30 minutes from New York and New Jersey, and it was the issues were me trying to get up there, being not being 18. Then my mom got sick, so did a couple auditions. I actually auditioned for a spot on I think it was a different world, and auditioned for a spot for I forgot the name of Claire Huxtable and them guys over there and stuff. Didn't get it, of course, but then my mom got sick, joined the military, retired from the military. Hence the reason why I'm here in Fayetteville, which is Fort Bragg, and in 2019, and then started getting back into it in 20 and 20. Actually, in 2020, I got into it. End of 2020. And so it's getting into it as an older person. It's been very it's been very different because you see so many young people out there doing it, and you're asking yourself, are you too old to do this? But I've been having fun so far.
And that's another thing we'll talk about is ageism. We've been talking about that. That seems to be the trending conversation all throughout this business is there's an expiration date. And I've learned from me working in the fashion world, there's a certain expiration date, even on models. They're saying, oh well, you have to start young, like at 16 or 17. Some of the biggest names in the industry, if I'm not mistaken, Cindy Crawford, Kate Moss, almost all of these girls, Naomi Campbell, all of them have gotten discovered at that age. But when you get up in your 50s and so forth and so on, they're just expecting you to stop. And I'm just like, no, this is my passion. This is something that I love to do. This is something that I'm passionate about doing. Why must I stop following my dreams? What would be your advice to anybody on that? And it's never too late.
It's never too late. I've been working through this thing called, and I'm working with my acting coach, and this thing called the imposter syndrome. Of course, you have heard of it. And
Yeah,
when we get to a certain age and we start doing things, we start asking ourselves, are we should we be doing this? Am I being an imposter trying to get into this field? But I look at it like this. There are so many avenues, so many products out there that are looking for mature men and women
yeah,
to 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 display their product, to promote their product, that I wouldn't stop. I was reading something in the casting network about this lady. She was like 60 or 62 that went out to New York. I mean, excuse me, went out to California, and just just on a whim and started doing commercials. Now she does it full time, and she started at, I mean, probably started like 2 years ago when she was 60. She's 62, and she's very known in the commercial world. So there is a demographic for, and there is a look. There is a people are asking for people, businesses and casting agents are looking for people our age, because there's a lot of money out there for us, and there's a lot of things that we can do that young people can't do. So I
absolutely. And I'm in my 30s. I'm about to be 30. I'm 29 pushing 30. And I'm looking forward to expecting that later on down the line in my life throughout my career. Because I started off very, very young. I started off right after high school. And I know that it's like an age expectancy in this business, whether it's acting, whether it's modeling. And I'm going to go back for a second because you said you made the transition from New Jersey to North Carolina. Moving on, your mom was sick. What was that transition like for you moving then, with family issues, now moving on to further your career to go on into modeling and acting?
Yes, so I'm glad that you asked that question, and I kind of, it grounds me all the time when I think about my journey. I joined the army when I was in 1990. Okay, I that was right after my mom got sick. She had an aneurysm, and I,
Sorry.
I didn't have nobody that would take me up to New York to these casting calls. So I joined the military, did it almost 30 years, loved it. I love what I do. I love what I did. And when it was time for me to transition to get out, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I got a good job. I got supplemental income, but I wanted to do something that I felt that I kind of that wasn't given, that there wasn't an opportunity given to me when I was younger. Being in North Carolina versus being in New Jersey is a big step, but I had that big gap in between, which was the military. And then when I came out, I didn't know nothing about social media or anything. The only reason why I got social media, I just got Instagram probably in 2021, because of the acting and modeling I had to do. I had to promote myself, and my wife created it for me. You know what I'm saying? I just got a Facebook last year because of this series, this YouTube series I was involved in, because that's how they was communicating with the actors. So I'm very, very new with this social media. So it was kind of different getting into this world, and leaning on my kids. I mean, I got kids that's going to be 26, 25, 22, what I'm saying? And I had to lean on them to help me understand what I was getting into and what to stay away from. So it was, to answer your question, to 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 go from one end to spectrum to the other. It was very humbling experience and very scary at the same time, because you didn't know what you was getting into. what business was trying to steal your money, who should you get acting lessons, should you get modeling lessons. I get like 1,000, well, I'm exaggerating, but I would say like 1,000 emails from modeling agencies that wants me to come out to California. By the way, just give me your bank information, your
Mm-hmm.
address and all this stuff. And so you're trying to muddle through everything and make sure that you're doing everything right, and at the same time trying to stay humble, and then looking at what's going on with everything else that's going on out there as far as the strike and how it affects you because you're non-union, and you're trying to figure out where you can uh, audition for, where you can't audition for, because now you're trying to make sure that when it's time for you to be SAG eligible, that you won't blackball yourself. So it's been kind of funny, and that, mind you, COVID was in the middle of all that.
Yes. So, oh my goodness. So it's a number of things you said. I'm sidetracked because I'm looking at the comments as well too. So let me get to you guys' comments. Let me take the time to get to some of the audience's comments. Diamond Hook Grown says condolences. Same here. My mother passed in my arms from cancer. It's like a wake up call. My condolences to you, Diamond, on that. And your wife is your biggest cheerleader. She believes in you, and that's why.
Right.
And shout outs to Hypnotic Skincare. She's going to be coming on the show in August. So we're going to be talking all things body care, Black owned. Make sure you guys go and follow and support her 100%. She sent me some of the best smelling body scrub. And you guys know the peach is one of my favorite scents. So Dream is definitely one of hers. So go and check that out. Shop Hypnotic Skincare and support. And Diamond Hook Grown says, we understand. Now you're ready. And shout outs to my brother K Tukes. Make sure you guys go and check out his platform, also the K Tukes Spock 85. I'm going to go back for a minute. You said kids. How do you find the balance with following your dreams and passions and fatherhood? Because I know it's never an ending job.
Yeah.
I've realized also being in this business, it's a lot that comes into it with being able to balance out family and having this platform. So for you, how do you do it?
Well, the good thing about me is when I started, all my kids were grown. So my oldest is going to be 26. My baby girl, she's going to be 21. My stepdaughter is going to be 25, and then my middle son, he's going to be 22. So when I started, I kind of, they were, they live with their moms and stuff, but financially, my pockets had to be a little bit deep because I'm trying to make sure that they're taken care of, asking for, this and that, which I don't mind, but at the same time, making sure, because this business is not for the faint of heart. I mean, if you don't have the financial means, if you don't have a good job supporting you to go to your auditions, to go to these different, when you're on set, it becomes hard. So, juggling that. I mean, my family, like the one person said, my wife is my big supporter. Every now and then I gotta check in with her because once us guys, once we start doing something, we just run off with it, and we be like, okay, we got to come back, and and we just got to do what I call an azimuth check to make sure that I'm still going to going azimuth north instead of bearing off to the left and bearing off to the right. But with the kids, it's not that big of a deal. I have a son in Atlanta. He does rap videos. I mean, he filmed rap videos. So me and him been kind of talking and converting and conversing on different things. And it's kind of, I call it reverse mentoring. And if anybody doesn't know what reverse mentoring is that where you have a young person telling you how to work different technology issues on and how to deal with social media. I lean on my kids a lot because if I would ask them and say, hey, tell me about this, and they'd be like, stay away from that, Dad. You don't want to go there. Stay away from this, or you may want to try this. And so my kids is a real big part of what I do. My
Right.
family is a real part of what I do because if I didn't have their support, I probably wouldn't be doing this at all. Because if I don't have their support, that means there's something that I'm not doing to support them. So it's the balance was, it kind of timed itself perfectly because once they were, they're in college, I was like, now, empty nest, time to go and do what I wanted to do.
So what's some of the best piece of advice? You said your son directs videos. What's some of the advice that you've given them along the way to help them further their careers?
I told him to be careful. And being in Atlanta, he's around a lot of violence, and I say violence because he be on set and there's somebody shooting off guns, doing this and that. So I always tell him, number one, to be careful. I always tell him to always pursue your passion, but make sure that your passion doesn't pursue you. And what I mean by that is that I tell him, it's good to know what you want, but when you go out there and you don't know what you want and you start doing things and start throwing things against the wall, that's when you start getting hurt. That's when you start putting yourself in bad situations and stuff like that. Even with my other three, they're doing their own careers, and I always tell them, follow what you want, follow your dream. Don't have any kids yet because I'm not ready to be a grandfather just yet. But and I don't mind being a grandfather, but I want them to do what they want, have fun, live life, explore the world. You don't have to be. If you in a relationship, make sure the person that you're in a relationship has just as much to bring to the table as you. I tell my girls, I said, the way I treat your moms is the same man that you need to find that will
Yeah.
treat you. So I tell them these little bits and nuggets and everything, just overall things in life. But as far as their careers and stuff, especially my son out of Atlanta, I kind of lean on him because I see that he's so involved in a lot of things that, and I watch him and stuff, and we talk about his career, we talk about my career, and we talking about joining forces. Maybe he'll do some videos for me, some monologues for me here and there and stuff. And I mean, he got some, he has a lot of things he got going on. But just like everything in Atlanta, there's a lot of competition, so he's trying to muddle his way through that. But I always tell him to be safe and have fun. I tell them all to have fun.
Absolutely. And I'm looking at the comments. Diamond says everything has to have God. With God, you don't stray far. Absolutely, all the
Yes.
time. Even going into this business, setting a foot with Shauron working so long in this business, being able to mentor and coach and guide his children. And I love the fact that you allow your children to create their own path and carve their own identity. Okay, this is you. You're testing the waters. You're out on your own now, but I can help you and advise you on the way. So, what advice would you give to people who have children who are in this industry, who are in the business as well too?
I tell them to, number one, it depends on the age of the children that they're dealing with. If you have young kids, be highly, highly involved in their social media, be highly involved in the auditions that they're doing. Make sure that you review any contracts, emails, and everything like that. When they're older, I would say that still be involved, have fun with them, ask them questions, find out what they like, what they don't like, find out what they're trying to do, because this business is a
Yeah.
cutthroat. It just takes one thing. It takes one person to blackball you, number one, and you just don't know who's, you just don't know, and you got to pray. You got to pray on it. You got to pray on it. You got to pray on it. You got to pray on everything that you do prior to making these decisions and prior to talking to your kids, just to give them the wisdom that you have. But if I had a child and he or she wanted to get into the business, number one, I got to make sure that number one, their school is good. Making sure, find out what they're trying to do, making sure that why they're trying to get into the business. Because are you trying to get in the business because you're you want to be famous? You want to make a lot of money? Then that's the wrong way to get in the business, because you're not going to make any money. We already know that people aren't really making, we're talking about actors aren't making no more than $30,000 a year and can't get, medical insurance. So you're not going to really be able to get into the business for the fame, notoriety, and the money. You want to get into it because you like it, you love it. You want to challenge yourself. You want to be able to give a product and be a better person, because modeling, especially with modeling, you have
Yeah.
to have right here. You can't go walk down that runway and not have that that it factor. You gotta be conceited when you're modeling, because it's like it puts you out there on a stage, and you're letting yourself out there, and people are seeing what you have, and so you gotta have that faith in yourself. And that's what I learned about modeling, having faith in yourself, because the cameras don't lie. Audiences see everything. If you feel unsure about yourself, then people are going to know that. So that's why I said, when you get your kids in these will help them grow, help them mature, help them have more courage and belief in themselves. So I just, have fun with it. Work with them, make sure that you are involved in everything that they do, and especially the social media part, because that's what is the biggest killer of everything that we're doing now.
Absolutely. I agree. I second that. Now, what makes you the happiest?
Excuse me?
I said, what makes you the happiest?
Okay, so I'll tell you something about myself. I am a prostate cancer survivor of 5 years now. So I've been diagnosed in 2018, surgery in 2019, and been cancer-free for over 5 years now. So the thing that makes me the happiest is seeing my family happy, not stressing about anything that's going on with me. That was a very tough time, and that happened the tail end of my military career. Hence the reason why, another reason why, you know what, life is too short. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do what I want to do. So what makes me the happiest is me hanging out with my family, having fun, joking, being able to, laugh. Just being able to just do this, go here, go to a movie, go to. I love going shopping. I mean, I got more shoes than my wife. That's which is really crazy. But when you're a model actor, you just kind of buy things down.
Yeah.
You got more shoes than me. but but it that's what makes me happy. Makes having fun with my family, and a lot of people saying, "Well, being in front of a camera makes me happy." That's fun, but that's just a temporary happiness. It makes me happy is seeing the person that I love in front of me happy, healthy, financially stable, safe, getting their education, having a roof over their head, food in their stomach, and a roof over their head. That's what makes me happy.
I appreciate you for sharing that testimony. I would have never known. See, you never know a person's story of what they're going through unless you sit and talk to them. What advice would you give to Black men, mainly within our communities, African American men? But for women, for Black women, it's easier for us. We go and we notice something. If it's a lump there, or if we notice something, we go to the doctor and we get checked out.
Mm.
What advice would you give to Black men about going to the doctor to get checked out?
The doctor is not your enemy. Uh, it's funny for men to get for a prostate cancer, for a prostate check. Normally, we get the digital exam, and men are scared of that.
Yeah.
I got the digital exam so many times that there wasn't. I didn't have any symptoms. My prostate wasn't enlarged, so I just went and got a blood test, and that's when it happened. That's when I found out, and then of course when I got a biopsy. But for Black men, and I've been talking to my brothers, I've been talking to my cousins, and it doesn't get through their skull. They think that they go to the doctor, then the doctor's going to find this and find that, or they're not going to find this, or it's all about they're going to get cancer from the doctor or something like that. I tell Black men and minority men, especially because we are the highest receivers of this disease. And it's happening at a younger age. I found out when I was 45. My grandfather died of prostate cancer. So I kind of like been
Sorry.
watching it, and then it happened. So I tell black men all the time, I said, listen, take it from me. I was diagnosed at the age of 45. If I was like you and did not go to the doctor and did not get checked, or did not, because I was scared, or I just had an opinion about going to a hospital, right now I would be stage 4, and we would not be having this conversation at all. And I tell this to black women, I tell this to minority women, I tell this to women all the time. I say, stay on your husbands, stay on your sons, stay on your brothers, stay on your cousins, stay on your uncles, because that's what I applaud women for, especially black women. You go to the doctor, you go to the hospital when there's an issue. Us men, we feel like we got to grind it out and do this and do that, and then I don't got time to go to the doctor. And and the other issue is, and I will have to say this just to be transparent, not a lot of black men have medical insurance. However, there are clinics that you can go to, free clinics that people are having at hospitals to help men with, identify certain cancers, certain heart diseases, high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, things that put us in the earlier grave than our sisters. So I tell this to all black men: go out there, do it. Don't be scared. Do what you got to do. It's not that you're saving your own life, but you're not taking yourself out the equation of your family, your kids, your wife, your mom, dad, everybody else that loves you. You do a disservice to yourself when you don't take care of yourself.
So I want black men to listen to that message and take away from it, because like I said, for black women, for us, it's easier for us. We go to the doctor, and if we see something, we get checked out about it. This is serious. This is your health. And especially for us as people of color, as a collective, we stay silent about it. We're just like, okay, no, I'll be fine. No, if you know that something is wrong, don't wait. Go now before it's too late.
Yes, and
Because the problem can get severe down the line.
it's the other thing, colonoscopies. They lowered the age for African Americans to the age of 45 now. We don't have to wait till 50 now for colonoscopies, because we're catching it too late. So things like that. So, yes, is the procedures invasive? Yes, yes it is. But you want that 1 hour invasiveness to find that there's nothing wrong with you, versus 5 years down the line. Now we got to set up other arrangements for you.
How can you live a great life without it? Impossible. Let's breathe together. Health has always been well. Absolutely. In order to be around for, your family, you have to make sure that health is taken care of first. And for us within the black community, we have to break that cycle, that stigma that, oh, I'm gonna be okay, I'll just walk it off. No, if you notice something is wrong, talk about it. Go to the doctor and get checked out.
Yes.
So that's the advice on that.
Yes.
So on a lighter note, what brings you joy? What makes you happy in the moment, in this present time?
Man, what brings me joy? What makes me happy? Being able, number one, being retired, being retired, I put in 30 years in the military. I did what I needed to do. I got my pension. I got my disability. I got I got that taken care of. I did the hard thing, and that's what a lot of people don't want to do. They don't want to do the hard thing. Just, they wanted for it to be fast and stuff. I did that. So I am just happy that I can do what I want to do. I can be able to, if I want to fly up to Germany, I can, or if I want to do this, and that's just the financial piece. I like the financial piece of where I'm at right now. Knock on wood. Not to say that nothing can happen, but that would make me happy, because I put the hours in on that. Being able to talk with people like you and everybody else, I love being able to communicate and talk about what's going on, how we can prevent. I call it preventive maintenance, to prevent things, talk about financial wealth and health. We talk about health. We talk about, mental health and stuff, being able
Yes.
to us about how we can overcome the stigma of not getting help, overcome the stigma of just because a person may be suicidal, that they're not crazy, those things, So I enjoy talking to people like us, people that's on the line, that's listening to us on this. What else? Also what else brings me joy, aside from talking, with my family and everything, I like going to the gym. It may sound goofy. A lot of people hate going to the gym. Sometimes I hate going to the gym, but that what brings me joy too, being able to go out and work on my health, work on my mental fortitude, and doing those type of things. But that's what gives me happiness right now.
Again, it goes back to what Diamond just said in the comments, which is health is wealth. And I say this all the time, and I've learned this working in this business of beauty and fashion, not just that, but when you look good, you feel good, and it builds a certain confidence within you to keep going and motivated. And it goes to what Diamond also just said, which is discipline is earned, not given. You have the drive to keep going. So I try to make sure that I'm fit and I make sure that I'm able and around because I'm going to be an aunt pretty soon. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And it's a new journey. You're welcoming a new life into the world. My brother and his girlfriend. So I'm excited about that. So I want to be able to be around for my nephew or
That's
my
what,
niece, whoever's coming into the world. I want to be able to be around. I love working out. I understand totally. I'd get mad if you don't. Right. And staying around, we have family. New lives are coming in every day. We have family and we want to be around for them. We lost so many people I'm gonna go back for a minute. And you said in the middle of the pandemic when it started, it was so unexpected because we wasn't expecting this to come. It was so unfortunate that we lost so many people. But we want to be around just to be with our families. And that's the key thing.
and you know what? Can I piggyback on that on the COVID thing? You
Yes.
know what? COVID exposed African Americans because we did not go to the doctor to deal with the health issues that we had. We have, some things that we couldn't bypass with COVID, like for example, I would say asthma, asthma, I
Yeah.
understand like that, but there's some health things that we probably could have, worked and, kind of commandeered to make sure that COVID didn't affect it when we did catch COVID. But COVID exposed us. COVID exposed us, and we were pretty much the majority of the people that were dying was because we didn't have medical insurance. We wasn't going to the doctor to fix this. We knew that we had heart issues. We knew that we were diabetic. We knew that we knew a lot of things, but we refused to get help. So I'm glad that 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 we are now in a place where we know what, if this was to happen again, let's make sure we stay on our grind to make sure that our health is our wealth, as you stated.
Absolutely. All right, Fashion Dolls, we're going to go to a lighter note here. We're going to have some fun here with Shauron. We're going to do two games, all right?
Okay.
So the first one is called Etc. And it's our version of this or that. So I'm going to give you two choices. Like, for example, okay, everyone knows these cereals, Cheerios or Pot of Luck, all right? So we're going to give two choices.
Okay.
The next one is the rapid five, where you have to tell us five things you can't live without. And it can be your goals, your dreams, your favorite drink, your favorite football team, whatever you're into. So we're going to start off with etc. All right.
Okay.
So here's some of the choices. I'm going to give a couple choices, and you guys in the audience can chime in also too. Work vacation or work free holiday? Which would you prefer?
uh, Work vacations.
All right. Since you both are into family, I think you'll like this one. Trivia night or board game night?
Oh wow. Trivia night.
Keep them guessing. I like that too. All right. Board games or card games?
Board games.
All right. Tulips or sunflowers?
Sunflowers.
Okay. All right. I know he'll like this one. Ninjas or pirates?
Ninjas, hands down.
Okay. For all my health junkies out here, broccoli or squash?
Squash.
All right. Fresh juice or smoothie?
A smoothie.
All right. Now this one is one of my guilty pleasures. And I'm pretty sure for all the health junkies you've wanted to cheat as well too. I know I have my cheat days. Stuffed crust pizza or normal cheese pizza?
Normal cheese pizza.
All right. This one is a little controversial, all right?
Okay.
And people have literally gotten into arguments in the comments about this one.
Okay.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Okay. The classic. All right. History or science fiction?
Science fiction.
Okay. Fantasy or drama?
Fantasy.
Shopping in store or online? Which would you prefer?
Shop in the store.
Sushi or ramen?
Ramen.
Okay. Again, another cheat day. Cupcake or donuts?
Cupcake.
Diamond says waffles. And see, it's tough because I mean, you have so many outlets out here that make pancakes and waffles. I was just watching, they do so many recipes on TikTok where they literally take the waffle and they'll add ice cream and all sorts of stuff to it. Like I just seen them do something with Captain Crunch and they added chocolate drizzle and caramel.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, they do all sorts of stuff with it. All right, here's the next one. Ice cream in a cone or cup? Which would you guys prefer in the audience too?
Ice cream in a cone.
All right. If I get it in a cup, it has to be like one of those on TikTok. I love desserts. I love sweets. So it would be the over the top, over exaggerated ice cream where it's just like all the sprinkles and all the drizzle on the side. Yeah, that would be me. I'd probably go into a sugar rush after that. But it's so good. Okay, chocolate or vanilla ice cream?
Vanilla.
All right. Tent or camping van? Which would you prefer?
Oh, a tent. I've been in the military. That's all I know. A tent.
Your favorite feat says cone over cup for sure and cup. So you guys like the ice cream, like the cones. My mom, she likes the cones too. I don't know what it is about me, but I just love desserts. And I know it's bad for you. You shouldn't be eating it, but it's so good. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. All right. B5'2" or 6'9"? Height wise.
Yeah,
Height wise.
yeah. That's a good one. 6'9".
That's tall. That's tall. And I think that's a little bit taller than Shaq, because Shaq literally has ducked down to get in the building.
Yeah, but
Okay.
if I'm 5'2", I won't be able to get to certain things. So
Oh yeah. The cabinets in the house, and a lot of people, if you're short, you have that problem. I know my mom will call me literally to get certain things out of the cabinet for her. He got training because talking about a tent, what about the bear? Oh yeah. Listen, camp in. Okay. Scary movies or comedy movies?
scary movies, hands down.
All right. Smooth jazz or folk music? Which would you prefer?
Smooth jazz. Brian Culbertson all day.
All right. Analog or digital? Clockwise.
I would say analog. I'm old
All
school.
right. This was a tough choice too. This is our last choice, and I'm pretty sure you guys in the comments, a lot of people bickered back and forth over this answer too. Sweet potato fries or regular French fries?
Regular French fries.
And not too long ago was National French Fry Day,
Yes, it
ladies
was.
and gentlemen. So you
It
guys
was.
Didn't get your free French fries from McDonald's or wherever, you missed it. But that is etc., ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you guys in the comments at home liked it as well. It is time for the rapid five. So Shauron has to tell me 5 things he cannot live without. And it can be his family, his favorite drink, in general, whatever comes to mind. What are 5 things that you can't live without?
Milkshakes. This is the oxymoron. Going to the gym. Of course, my family. Horror movies. And guilty pleasures, smoking cigars. I don't smoke cigars all the time, but cigars, those 5 things.
All right. I know wife is somewhere like you better say family. So yes, most guys that their wives watch the platform and the wives will be sitting right there in the audience, they're just like, you better make sure that you choose me for number one. Always. So great choices. All right. So my last question for you is what's next in the journey for life? Because you came here and you were so transparent. And I had such a great time in this interview.
Oh, wow. That is a great question. What's next? Continue on with my modeling and acting journey, uh, and just to have fun.
Yes.
That's that's all we can ask for. Just to have fun, and the way I have fun is with my family and my friends and you. And if I'm having fun with everybody like that, then if nothing else works, me having fun and have my family and my friends in my corner was the best thing.
All right. Fashion dolls. Do we have any questions for myself or Sharon here before we continue on and conclude this interview? While you guys are typing, I'm going to give you guys some words of encouragement for the day. You guys know we always do our final word of the day, which comes from Solange Knowles. Of course, we know her. She's Beyonce's sister. Um, when you take care of yourself, you're a better person for others. When you feel good about yourself, you treat others better. And that comes from Solange. And I agree with that firsthand, which is what we talked about throughout this conversation today, which is self care, making sure that you preserve yourself, that you're around for your family and your friends, the loved ones who truly, genuinely care about you in your life. You need to be around to be with them, to celebrate them, and them pour into you. You pour into each other, and it works both ways. So make sure that you are taking care of self. Make sure that you are also going to get checked out and stay healthy. That would be my best advice to everybody out here. We've all have our own issues of ailments, but the key trick is to stay healthy and talk about it and get checked out as soon as possible. Do not wait because the longer you wait, it can build up over time and you don't know what to do. Trust me,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. And that is the final word of the day. I don't see any questions, but do you have any gems that you would like to drop to family, friends, or the viewers that are watching this in this video?
There's 3 things that you cannot do. You can't depend. You can't depend on anybody but yourself and the Lord.
Yes,
The second thing is to have a clear mind and always put God first.
always.
And the third thing is to have fun, because if it's not fun and it's a job, then don't do it.
And that's to anybody. Again, it goes back to what Diamond just said and what I just said as well too. We're all on the same page with this, which is putting God first in everything that you do. I just had a conversation with my mom not too long ago on the phone, and she was saying, "You got to trust God. Do you trust God?" I said, "Yes, I do. I do. I talk to Him every morning when I get up. A ritual that I do is I always say my morning affirmations first thing when I get up in the morning, and I pray and I talk to God before and after an interview show. And so far, I must say I'm on the right track with staying grounded. My mom, she's made sure of that as well as my grandmother. So make sure that you are surrounded by people who God has put into your life to make sure that you're encouraged and on the right track. And I must say, I'm very, very pleased with the people that are behind me 100% and this journey. And to anybody out there that is in this business, make sure that you're staying grounded by people who uplift you and make you feel good and whole. All right, fashion dolls. And let everyone know where they can follow you and check out your projects.
Uh, of course, I'm on Actors Access as Shauron Lee and Instagram, Shauron Lee, Shauron Lee. Facebook, the same thing, Shauron Lee at Facebook, and you'll be able to find all my projects and stuff on there. Hopefully this year I'll get more. We'll see. I'm up in the DMV area, so that's a new thing right there. So I'm excited. I love challenges. I love the the unknown. That's one thing you know about me. I love challenges and I love the unknown. So I can't wait.
All right, fashion dolls, ladies and gentlemen, Shauron Lee, make sure you guys go and follow him. I had such a great time in this interview with you, and you dropped so much knowledge on us and just being transparent. I wasn't expecting him to go into detail, and no, I didn't make him say anything. When people come on my platform, they're in a safe space, and I reassure that all the time that they come on and they tell their stories that can impact the next person and the next person and the next person. So would definitely love to have you back again on the show,
Of
Shauron.
course, just let me know. I'll be right there.
I sure will, and we will talk. Be on the lookout. This interview will be uploaded to Style by Stevie Daytime tomorrow.
Okay.
We are back with my new show with my co-host Manny Killer, Tete a Tete, and we will get into some things tomorrow at 3. And then also joining me on the main show at 4, we have Bryant Defont. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Great lineup this week of these amazing Black men. So make sure you guys go and check out the lineup. And again, Shauron, thank you so much for coming to the
Thank you for
Dollhouse.
having me.
You are so welcome. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. And this interview again will be uploaded to Style by Stevie Daytime. And I will see you guys tomorrow with Manny and Bryant at 3 and 4. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.